At the heart of Scotland's largest city sits our busiest railway station.
All aboard!
Glasgow Central is the hub that connects millions of people in communities all over the country. For station staff, keeping Central's passengers moving is the constant mission.
It's a scary thought to think you're managing something as big as this.
And with over 100,000 visitors a day, no two shifts are ever the same.
Yeah, you've got to muck in. Everybody's got to muck in.
I can see if anybody for the head office is coming in to catch me out. That's always good.
Right, we're lost without the railway in Glasgow Central.
This time on Inside Central Station, the hard work behind the scenes that keeps the terminus ticking.
They might not say it, but I think they ought to take a bit of pride in the station. It's their station.
It's a hellish job. Somebody's got to do it.
Central Station has been a bustling town within a city since 1879. Today, nearly 40 million passengers use the station each year. But it takes a monumental team effort behind the scenes to keep things running smoothly. And from dispatching trains,
Just keep steaming at the top. Keep your button up.
to communications,
Go to this screen over here again, just refresh it. You're fine.
there's a hidden world of training taking place, sometimes right under our noses. In the centre of the main concourse is the mobility point, where today an unusual driving lesson is about to begin.
Gary, could you tell me what the buggy key is? It's the wee tiny one, isn't it?
Customer service assistant Denise is learning to drive a mobility buggy.
Right, I've got the key. Got the key, no! It's a bit nerve-wracking. I've been out in the buggy before. I'm just so scared that I go onto the track, so I feel pretty awful. But maybe once I get behind that wheel, I might be all right. We'll see.
You got a key?
Ready to share his buggy driving know-how is experienced instructor Shug.
Am I driving or are you?
Oh, you drive.
Oh, you're not driving me up to the platform?
Got to get used to driving in amongst the public.
When I first started driving that buggy, I was so nervous. I'm not kidding, it was awful. I think my legs were shaking, my arms were shaking, but it was just because I didn't want to make a mistake. I would toot, but I don't know where my horn is.
Right, 9 minutes in platform 15. We'll do a couple of manoeuvres.
You're just awful nervous when you know you're having to drive up and down platforms, and it's a worry that maybe you'll make a mistake or something will happen.
Plenty of room. Right, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning.
Power steering would be nice.
I know.
Would be nice. No, I'm going to have to go back
No,
again.
you're not. On you go, your choice, it's your choice. You're driving.
I know, but do you think we could make that?
Yeah.
Hey, well done, Chuck.
No bad for him.
Well, that was all right, eh? Oh.
That's the camera's fault. Turn, 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 turn. Turn, 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 turn.
And you think I can do this in a 180?
You can do it in a 180, but if you don't feel it's safe, you can always do a
you can,
3-point
that's
turn.
quite easy,
There you go,
actually.
see?
I've been driving for like 28 years. But it's not like driving, it's like being in a bumper car. It's not like driving a car and then just park up.
Just park up next to the other buggy in the blue square.
Oh, thank God.
Well done. How'd you feel?
Oh, that was all right.
Good. When she's turning in the platform, she needs to maybe go a wee bit wider and then take the reverse manoeuvre But always make sure there's a train in the platform behind you so that you can't fall off.
All good advice. Yeah, I'll take that on board. And he's not taking the credit when I pass.
Beneath the Gordon Street canopy, a rather special work of art has arrived. Constructed behind closed doors, it's about to see the light of day.
It was a bit of a nerve-wracking journey, but it's coped very nicely, actually. If one of the fundamental members breaks, which it has before when I've been moving it around the house, then half the structure tends to go with it. And yeah, that wouldn't be so good. Yeah, you can go that side. We have a 4.7 meter long model of the fourth bridge made entirely out of Lego, and I built this over a 4-month period.
Ably assisted by his mum and dad, civil engineer Michael is gearing up to display his model on the concourse.
He's done well, he's done well. We support him all the way.
Okay.
It's been very difficult, I think. It's an excellent attempt at building a very, very difficult structure.
It's very, very delicate.
Only once Michael has rebuilt his bridge,
That's fine.
can he start to focus on the real purpose of his visit to Central.
In order for Lego to consider adding this to their official range and have it on the shelves as an official product, I need to generate 10,000 votes or 10,000 supporters. As of today, I'm on 878 votes, so it'd be a huge achievement, but it's something that I feel Scotland deserves. It's Scotland's most iconic structure. It's renowned and recognised throughout the world, and as far as I believe, Lego don't actually have anything Scottish on their shelf. And it's about time that they did.
Mike, am I doing this right? Do you just...
No, you're too close, come back.
Oh, right.
I think you put your QR reader on.
No, what's that? QR reader?
Is the plan that you would have a suitably scaled train to run across?
Yes, that's something I'm hoping Lego are going to take on board, because this is just a concept.
I'd actually seen it online in a news article a couple of weeks ago, so I'd seen pictures of it, so that's why I recognised it's come over. A real labour of love by your man here. I am 99% sure I have voted already, but I will go and make sure I did.
How long did it take you to repaint that then?
Well, you laugh, but I did paint it. Yeah, this little section here. That little piece doesn't come in red, it only comes in white. So I had to sit down and individually hand paint 240 little pieces using a very small tin of model paint.
How exactly long did it take to make that magnificent thing? It's impossible to make. It looks like beautiful. How long did it take?
Well, thank you very much. That took 4 months to build.
4 months?
Not full time. It was like a couple hours every night when my wife and my little baby boy was asleep in bed. I would sit downstairs and start building. You've also guess how many pieces I've used. Okay, one at a time. We'll go this way around. So you first. How many pieces?
100.
100? What do you think?
4,000.
4,000. What do you think?
1,000 million trillion billion 1,024.
That's maybe a little bit too many, but good guess.
2,500.
It's around about 3,000.
It's been a busy morning for Michael and his bridge. And the votes are already coming in.
So I'm just having a check as to how things are going. It's been a number of hours now that we've been live. I'm just having a little check. So that's good. There's been about 25 from this morning, which is good. A lot of folk have taken pictures, and we'll go home and support it. And slowly but surely, it'll pick up pace, I hope. Half a day, 25, is actually very good going.
Michael's miniature feat of construction pays tribute to the work of one of Scotland's most celebrated civil engineers, Sir William Arrol. Like the fourth bridge, The new Clyde Bridge, which dutifully carries almost 1,300 trains in and out of Glasgow Central every day, was also built by Sir William Arrol and Company. But this 8-track steel workhorse is actually the second of Arrol's rail bridges to serve Central Station. When Central first opened in 1879, it had a much smaller bridge, the piers of which can still be seen today. But the original bridge soon struggled to meet the demand of increasing passenger numbers. So in 1905, coinciding with the opening of an expanded Central Station, the new Clyde Bridge was unveiled. And this one was to stand the test of time. For well over a century, this marvel of late Victorian engineering has been the gateway to the country's busiest railway station, bringing passengers straight into the heart of the city. But today, the new Clyde Bridge is beginning to show its age. 114 years of exposure to the elements has taken its toll on this steel giant.
There's obviously been remedial works carried out over the years, but nothing to the extent of what's happening at the present.
A mammoth £13 million restoration project is underway to ensure that the bridge can serve Glasgow Central well into the future.
As you can see, you've got the old paint. The old paint hides defects. You've got the corrosion of the steel, the girders. If it continues like that, then it's just going to corrode even further, which could result in the bridge no longer being here.
An army of over 100 workers from around a dozen different contractors are working together to strip the bridge of its paintwork. 85,000 square metres of bare steel will then be surveyed, repaired and ultimately repainted.
This is a massive job for Network Rail. The completion of the project, start to finish, is 2 years. If it's done in 2 years, it'll be good.
One of the biggest challenges is getting access to every inch of the bridge's framework. John heads up a team of scaffolders who have the treacherous job of wrapping the structure in over 2,500 tonnes of scaffolding.
We're currently doing a suspended scaffolding structure on the underside. The main hazard for this structure itself is falling from heights.
If workers were to fall into the River Clyde, cold water shock, with potentially deadly consequences, is a serious risk. And strong currents below the surface pose another hidden threat.
They have retractable inertia reels, harnesses, life jackets, rescue team. So everything's in place to mitigate that risk. Any of the chaps come off and they hit the water, this gives them the reaction time with under 2 minutes to get them into the boat, so thus saving somebody's life. These chaps are basically here and they sit on the boat for the full 10-hour shift that they're here.
Gets a bit boring, but we'll keep each other company.
As the scaffolders work unseen beneath the bridge,
up this way.
new tour guide Jackie takes the visitors behind the scenes to explore Glasgow Central's rich history.
OK, want to head down and just wait on the first landing. Now, don't worry about the rats, folks, because they're quite tame and very friendly. OK, folks.
But Jackie has another responsibility. It's up to her to enhance the tour experience with a brand new museum.
We'll just put the light on. There we go. Here it is.
Little by little, she's been unearthing all sorts of railway memorabilia from around the station.
We've got a table. We'll use that as a display shelf. I'm trying to fill the museum with stuff that's authentic and of the station. It's not often this happens, but on Friday I was offered a railway carriage, a whole railway carriage. Can't take a whole railway carriage, can't get it down the stairs. So the plan is that we'll take whatever we can from inside the railway carriage and bring it here to be part of the museum. All right, my loves.
With an ever-expanding to-do list, Glasgow Central's maintenance crew, Stevie and Kev, have been indispensable.
The maintenance guys are my best friends. I know where my bread is buttered. I've got a lot of jobs for them coming. I could probably take them on full time, actually, just working in the museum. Right, so the cabinet here, the door needs to go on, and that needs to be levelled. There needs to be a wee support thing at the back there, because that's the bottom. That's upside down.
I'm glad you're here to keep us right, Jackie.
Aye. Everyone is keen to see this museum up and running because it's been talked about for a long time. So everybody's excited about it and everybody's really keen to help. So these guys they've just been great. And we have a laugh along the way. Do you need a seat for the next part?
Why, what's the next part?
I was offered a railway carriage. Now we can't take a whole carriage because we can't get it down here. Or I would have it, you know me, I would have it in here. However, what the plan is will be to take whatever out. They're going to give me crockery and cutlery and stuff like that, all from that. So there is also another carriage which may come at a later stage.
Do you know how big this place is?
I know, but
you're going to get 2 railway carriages.
No, I'm not putting the whole railway carriage in. I'm just giving you a wee heads up that because I don't want it to be too much a shock when I say to you, right, can you do this?
It'll not be a shock, the damage is done. This is my shock face.
So there will be other bits and pieces, but no, it's not anything that you're not capable, absolutely capable of, because you're a wonderful team and I have every confidence in you. Get my specs off you.
Back on the River Clyde, the highly specialised job of restoring the bridge continues apace. Out of sight, beneath the tracks, the structure is being stripped of old paint, which is laced with hazardous lead. To stop the lead toxin leaking into the environment, the scaffolding-clad bridge must be cocooned in an airtight layer of plastic.
This is your enviro-wrap sheeting. So you can see that it's fully encapsulated round about the scaffold. Minor gaps is all blocked up with glass wool and expansion foam. So when the lads come in, they'll lock themselves in here.
But before they start the perilous job, the workers on the front line must get kitted out.
They begin inside the encapsulation, they'll put on a pair of protective overalls, and then they've got a full blast helmet, which is air-fed. So it's a hell of a lot of kit, and when they're working in there, then it's under intense heat as well, with the blast helmet and that on, so I reiterate rather than me.
Suited and booted, the workers can begin a crucial part of the project. A process known as grit blasting.
They're actually stripping back the existing coating back to bare steel.
Only by removing the paintwork can any corrosive damage be properly assessed, but it's fraught with danger.
These are the compressors, and the pressure for the compressors blows out the abrasive grit, run it roughly about 11 bars of pressure. So the lip, very, 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 very strong. So it could, literally could cut you in half.
Because of the toxic working conditions, all the grit blasters must undergo regular medical tests to monitor levels of lead in their bloodstream.
We check their skin, their fingernails, their teeth, and everything, just to make sure their levels are staying at a reasonable level. So it's a hellish job. Somebody's going to do it.
Back on the station concourse, Michael's rail bridge is under a different kind of scrutiny.
It looks absolutely brilliant. I'm just out on my lunch break, but to see this here, that's really good actually. I like it. So,
No, that's
well
great.
done, man. It's nice to see.
Thanks very much.
But to get his model on the shelves, he needs votes.
So how do I vote then? What do I do?
You go onto legoideas.com, search for the fourth bridge and hit support. It's been very good and it's been very heartwarming to get all the positive feedback.
I'm very impressed by it. The fact that it's freestanding as well. It's not just a case of sticking bricks together. There's a wee bit of engineering behind it as well.
You never know how the public are going to receive something like this. You know, even though I'm very passionate about it, it doesn't mean everyone else is. What do you think of it?
Good.
Is it good? Yeah?
Michael's been busy on the campaign trail. And now, it's his moment of truth.
When I first came here, we were at 878 votes, and we're now 967. So it's a massive increase, a massive spike, which is exactly what I was hoping for, exactly what I need. And I just hope that people continue to support, continue to share, and hopefully help me get up to 10,000 as soon as possible.
Where do you want me to go?
Platform 15. We'll do a couple of...
Back at the mobility point, it's a big moment for Denise. After all her training, instructor Shug has decided she's ready to sit her buggy test.
I'll assess her how she's doing. Manoeuvres on the platforms, taking customers into consideration. She's not putting herself into a dangerous safety situation where she may cause an injury to herself or to another. Shoot, straighten up and we'll do that again.
Gaining a buggy licence will allow Denise to provide even more assistance to Central's passengers.
I think it just gives you more opportunity just to help people, so you're busier doing mobility and helping people on and off the train. If you're not on the buggy, all you can do is ramps and visually impaired persons, help them. So you've got more opportunity to be picking people up, talking to them, finding out about where they've been, where they're going.
Head up 13.
So there is more interaction with your customers doing the buggy, and it gets you off your feet for 10 minutes when you've been walking about for hours, which is amazing.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Right, so we can just head down, park up in the blue square, then I'll let you know if you've passed or failed. Well, Denise, congratulations. You have successfully passed your buggy driving training at Glasgow Central.
Thanks.
You just need to go and complete the paperwork.
Thanks. Oh my God, I feel like I need to stretch myself.
I need a drink.
I'll better take a piece out.
A drink of water. Drink of water.
That's me just passed my test, and it feels really good. I don't know what I was worrying about. The Shug was really good, and it was easy-ish. Apart from the power steering, that's a nightmare. But yeah, it was fine. It was absolutely fine. Right, Shug. Might have done a better for you. Buggy driver. Thanks, Shug.
You're welcome.
I'll need to get my box of chocolates.
No. I don't accept any bribes.
Don't accept bribes?
Just strawberry tarts.
It's mid-afternoon, and on the concourse, there's a problem. Services through Ayrshire are being delayed and cancelled.
Where is it you're going to again?
Shift station supervisor Alison is helping advise travellers.
So we have a wee bit of disruption on the airlines just now. Unfortunately, a person was hit with a freight train, so they're on their way to hospital just now.
The incident has taken place between Paisley and Kilwinning.
Yeah.
Station control assistant Robbie works in the communications room, updating the departure boards that keep passengers informed.
If a person gets hit by a train, everything grinds to a halt. So the priority is to get that person medical attention as soon as possible. A line blockage is going to be put in place. Obviously, none of the trains are going to move down that section of line. So we're trying to let passengers know what services are running, what services that are not running, and what they can do to get to where they're going.
I'm trying to get to Dalry.
Right, OK.
With 14 trains running through the affected section of track every hour at peak times, thousands of commuters on 4 different lines will be affected.
It happened as I was going for the train, so I got to the station, my train was cancelled, you know, and I seen all the transport police, and obviously I seen the tanker, and the driver had kind of knew there was something serious happening. Edinburgh, round front of the station, if you speak to the staff between 3 and 6 at the front, OK?
This computer system is the one that lets us control the departure board. Green is good and red is bad. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of red on it. If it's red, it's either cancelled or it's showing a significant delay. So normally what we want is all of these to be assigned a platform, but just now we can't, because we don't know. We're waiting on information.
Your next one, it's not got a platform yet, guys. It's not until 6 minutes past, but it should be coming up any minute now, OK? There really isn't much we can do apart from just ask passengers to be patient, you know. The majority of people remember that, but you do get the odd few that'll just have a rant at you, but someone's been struck by a train. I think there's worse things happening in the world than you missing a train.
No, we're still waiting on it, that's the thing, I know.
When you're dealing with something like that in the station, you do just kind of put your work hat on and try not to think about it too much, you know, because obviously you've got a job to do, you've got all your passengers you need to look after. You OK?
Yeah.
Pretty much just focus on the passengers' needs that are there. But it's not very nice circumstances.
During peak times, the station can expect thousands of passengers every hour. So when services are subject to major disruption, ensuring crowding on the concourse doesn't reach dangerous levels is a staff priority.
We're coming into peak time now, so we've got all the commuters trying to get home. We always have a big influx of passengers. Up this side of the station, you could have anything up to probably about 5,000 to 6,000 people at peak time.
Just over an hour later, services are starting to get back on track.
It looks like things are beginning to come back into place. The line is back open.
But Robbie and his team are still dealing with a backlog of ongoing issues. And it's not only increased footfall that is causing difficulties.
That's once again, passengers, please check the main board prior to boarding any trains. Due to ongoing disruptions, platforms may be subject to change.
What's happening is people are looking at their mobile phones and their apps and so on and just going to the platform that it's telling them on there rather than looking at the main board. And a lot of the services just now are getting changed. Platforms are changing, so they're getting on the wrong train. Obviously, when it's peak, there are a lot more passengers. Services will fill up quicker if there are fewer trains running. So, yeah, it has a big impact.
It's just at peak, we're at 4:20 at the moment, so I'm hoping it's all right back up and running by 5, but might be optimistic.
So we're hoping that it is going to run. I just don't know exactly when.
Thank you.
Nice, thank you.
The line's been back open for around 30 minutes. But the disruption is continuing for travellers.
So the 1628 here, and it's full of passengers. We've had it boarded and just found out that they don't have a driver for it, so that driver is stuck down in air.
But then, a solution comes through by radio.
Scotty 03, Scotty 07. 7, go ahead. Gary, I've got the driver in 1640 here standing beside me here saying that he would be quite willing to take that 28 here. It's up to yourself, folks.
I'll just go for it and I'll tell me 1640's cancelled in.
1628 air will get reinstated. Empty for Kilwinning, Irvine, Brassy. 1628 is going to get reinstated. The driver's just coming up for it. We didn't have the driver in, OK?
Go ahead, Sheriff.
So there was a whole train there boarded with no driver. So it would have been a nightmare if they'd all had to come back up. So the driver for the 1640 has agreed to take out the 28.
The 1640 area is going to be cancelled. But from a safety aspect for the passengers, it's a much better idea. Don't need to disembark that train and move them to a different platform.
Thanks to the work going on behind the scenes, commuter congestion is starting to ease off.
17:54 now, and things are almost back on track. Most of the services are running as normal, but I reckon it's all just going to calm down now, get better, as long as something else doesn't happen.
The line's actually came up and running a lot quicker than I thought, although we still had a lot of residual delays with getting the trains and everything back up and running. So it did go into peak quite a bit. There was a point where we were really busy here and all the trains started coming in, so all the people flooding through and coming in, but it was all right, it was safe, we could still see the floor, people could still move, so it's probably just what London gets in a normal day.
Another day at Glasgow Central is coming to a close, for the passengers at least. But all too familiar with the wee small hours, Davy and his team of cleaners see a side of the station that few get a glimpse of.
11:30 at night, we're just about to shut off Union Street entrance to the station to allow the guys to deep clean the stairs, which is basically deck scrubbing, hard graft. These are brushed every night, and it just shows you on a daily basis how much dust gets brought into the station. It's all the detailed work they do, it's all the stuff that we can't do during the day, all the good jobs. Just getting into the edges here, getting the bits of ooze and dust that you can't get to. Donnie's got a very new piece of kit to get into these areas, and it's called a knife. I will say it's a blunt knife. I think probably most people come through probably don't think about what happens, just hopefully walk through and think, yeah, it looks clean. But don't bother as to why it's clean or ask a question why. So down into the public toilets with Frank. He spends all his nights in here. Right, we're ready, we go down and see what you're up to.
Since the toilets in the station were made free of charge, there's been a 62% increase in footfall, and that has had an impact.
At present, we're going through around 1,400 toilet rolls per month.
But more punters using the toilets hasn't affected the dedication of Davy's team.
We've got a lot of long-term staff. How long have you been with us, Frank?
Nearly 18 years.
18 years. He's one of the young ones. I'm genuinely proud of them. They all do a good job. They go beyond at times. If they see something dirty, they clean it. So that's a sign of a good cleaner. You shouldn't need to be chasing them up and telling them what to do. And I don't. Looks 100 times better.
The station has over 40,000 square feet of concourse, and George has the nightly task of cleaning it.
It might look kind of haphazard, but there's a bit of technique to it. That way you don't miss any of the concourse floor. Years ago it used to be done with just a walk-behind machine, and that was hard work. How's the machine going, George? How's the machine working all right? Any issues? Good. You feeling the cold yet? Aye, all wrapped up. It's getting to that time of year. But he'll know what might stop him from working, because he'll not get it finished in time before the station opens. to move out the road before he runs me over. Or words to that effect. Just go down and see how the guys are getting on before the station opens up again. Stairs are looking great. Guys have done a great job again. And they're just putting the finishing touches on now. Doing the banisters, getting the metal work all up. Thanks again, guys. Brilliant job again tonight, as per normal. I'll get you a box of chocolates for Christmas. They might not say it, but I think they ought to take a bit of pride in the station. It's their station. And we just wonder, will the public notice it? No, brilliant, guys. Thanks again. See you later on. Cheers. Throughout the station, though we all work for different companies, we're all here to get people on trains and get them to where they want to go. We're all here for the passenger. Ultimately, that's the bottom line. 15 minutes to opening time. How quiet and peaceful it is, and clean. How long will it last?
As Glasgow Central sets its wheels in motion for another day, passengers and some less welcome visitors are flocking into the station.
Scrubbing in, let's do this.
Shift station manager Drew is about to teach Kirsten about one of his weekly patrols.
One of the checks today is the pigeon checks. Let's see your rebook.
Kirsten's been recently promoted and is in training to become a fully fledged member of the Shift station management team. So Drew is taking her under his wing.
So basically what we're looking for, we're trying to find out where the pigeons are roosting. And as you look up at the far end, you can see one of the favourite spots is up above Burger King. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4.
Drew, would you say it's easier to count them at night or during the day?
During the day.
But then they're moving around everywhere. Surely at night they're settled?
You can't really see them at night time. Whereas during the day they start coming down and then you get more chance to count them.
Okay.
But it's one of our environmental checks, so it is very important that we carry out a pigeon check, see where they're roosting, see where they're perching, and more particularly we see where the droppings are going. That's the main thing to try and prevent slip hazards within the station.
So watch out for the pigeons.
Watch my pigeons.
Oh, we're about to watch a murder. Nope.
You know, you can't teach somebody how to count pigeons, you know, you use 1, 2, 3 and different things like that, but it is an important part of the role. It's one of our operations procedures that must get carried out. We've had seagulls in the station, we've had swans, so we're always going to have our pigeons.
Had an owl?
So we've had an owl, yes, so...
Drew, would we count the owl in our pigeon check?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it can still do the same sort of damage to the station or same risk to the station. So.
Yeah.
Kirsten's got a different approach to everything, and so she might have her own ways of doing the different procedures, and I'm sure whatever way she does it, whether she's counting pigeons or hiding for seagulls in the roof, as long as it's helping improve the system, improving the procedures, then I'm all for it. It's a good honour, I say. As you come towards platform 9 and 10, towards 15, for some reason they like this side of the station.
At the end of the day, Drew is he's just a fantastic character. He cares so much about everybody in the station. And that's something I need to learn as well. I need to learn that empathy from him.
Is that a pigeon? I'd say they're a dead pigeon or it's just resting. You could just see, just in the ledge there, I could see what I thought with a distance was a pigeon, but looking up, I'm not too sure.
All right, let's move away from the dead pigeon.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's still moving. Come back. No, it's not. Look, it moved. Look. bastard.
Oh, he's alive! Oh, he was faking it.
Ah, he's kidding us on.
Come on.
You know, you could laugh and joke all day about the pigeon count, but it's, for a station like this, it plays an important part because we need to try and keep a station safe. The most I think I've counted is maybe about 15, but that's when somebody's feeding them.
That's a lot of pigeons.
Well, if you're in Central Station, don't feed the pigeons. It's a no-go. It's no-go. So that's a rule. Don't see anybody feeding pigeons. No, no, no.
All right, I remember that.
I'm happy to pass on the pigeon check to your good self.
Thank you very much, Drew.
Every Monday.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to just put a nice little signature over here.
Yes,
Yeah.
That'll do me. Any recent complaints? I'm not aware of any complaints.
No, we haven't any complaints.
So
The pigeons have been behaving. That's what we like to see.
I'm sure Kirsten will take to the job in hand every Monday morning from me, and I'm sure she'll do a grand job, as long as she looks after my pigeons.
A huge amount of work goes on behind the scenes to make Glasgow Central a safe place for everyone. But it's not only the staff who need to learn the station inside out.
Opened up.
Opened up, exactly.
Yep.
For 16-year-old Summer, Central poses a very particular set of challenges.
Central Station's a busy place and it is really challenging to get around. Unless you have some sort of sight. But with me that have no sight at all, it's extra tricky.
This is it, getting into the busy rush hour time now, Summer.
Oh yeah.
Today was for Summer to be sort of familiar, getting a bit of familiarisation of Central Station. So we're walking right the way along the gates, a series of sort of, you know, confidence building exercises and getting familiar with the layout of the station. Do you hear the shops?
Yep.
Smell the coffee?
Yeah.
As we were, you know, planning our route through the station, we'd be finding landmarks that Summer would be remembering and identifying them to, you know, for the next time. There's W.H. Smith's.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got the Costa Coffee.
I can actually smell the coffee.
Yeah. It's only with the practice that you can start to develop the mental map of the layout of the station.
Yeah.
It's a wee bit quieter now. Can you hear the gates?
Yep, yep. There's just too many platforms. I don't think Central's a place I could understand.
I think with time we'd get there.
With time we'd get there, but it would take a really, really long time.
I think you're being a bit hard on yourself, Summer.
Yeah, but I think it would take quite a long time to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get there.
Yeah.
Can you feel the sort of the circle? Just the curved edge, that's where you put the card against it. And hear the gate open?
Yep.
And then you just sort of, that's it, it's wide open for you to go through. Brilliant.
I've got this expression that my hands and my ears and my eyes. Because the clothes I can't see, so I use my other senses.
Straight down the steps.
You have to be determined when you're blind to get things done.
Well done.
I mean, I can see now, oh, the Central Station's too difficult, I'm not going to navigate that. But actually, what's the point in me saying that? Because then it's going to set myself up for failure.
Right, so if you just sort of go forward a little bit and then find the edge of the platform. Good. Big sweep out. Right, that's us. So that's your step up. Good.
So now I need to go to the left.
Fine, yep. That's you. Come in. Just in a little bit. There it is there.
There.
Now we're safe to step up. First step. Well done.
In.
Good.
I think my goal is to actually feel confident around Central Station and be someone that can come into Central and go, oh, I know I'm going now. Yeah, I think that is my end goal, to get around confidently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, let's go get a cup of tea.
It's just like switching it. You just dook.
Deep beneath the concourse, hidden from public view,
bend at the knees, bend at the knees.
The station's maintenance team have been busy hanging some retro clocks, which have been recently repaired. In the early 1990s, these timepieces hung above the platforms. Now they're ticking once again, especially for Jackie's labour of love, the Station Museum.
So we're now in the museum. Well, I think we can safely call it a museum now because it's beginning to actually look like one. For so long it's just really been an empty room with stuff in it, but it's now beginning to take shape. I think the clocks are just fabulous. They really are such a striking feature. But these are very important, extremely important. This is the story of Grahamston. Grahamston was demolished so that the station could be here. It's the very beginnings. It's the very beginnings. So I just hope everybody that comes to the museum likes it as much as I do. I'm not a railway person. I'm not a train geek. I'm definitely not. I don't know anything about trains, and I'm the first to admit it. But this station, since I started here, it's just sucking me in. It's sucking me in to the history, to once you learn a bit, you just want to learn more.
Hello. Oh my.
Oh, hello there.
God, what a difference. This is great.
Station manager Susan has come for an early look at Jackie's efforts. She employed Jackie to take the lead on this special project.
Jackie, that's brilliant. These are great, these are lovely, and look, they're actually working in the right time. This is amazing, Jackie. Like all the people that you've spoke to and done to get all this pulled together. I think it's adding a lot more context to the tour, and
I'm really pleased with it. It's coming. There's still a good bit to do, but I think there'll be the kind of the bigger things that will come in that will give the
You'll
shape.
cry. You'll cry at the end.
Probably.
As soon as we cut that ribbon, you're going to cry. You're going to be like, I'm cutting that ribbon.
First allowed in. Oh,
she goes, I'll be cutting that ribbon.
I know.
We're well on the way to getting things opened up to the public, which is good. So I think it's an excellent achievement. So well done.
Thank you. It's definitely a privilege for me. I probably see me as starting the journey, because this museum isn't going to stop. You know, we're not suddenly going to get to a date where we open it and the museum is it. That's it. It finishes. My real dream is that it grows and grows.
Back on the Clyde Bridge, tucked underneath the rail tracks, in a section which has been stripped back to bare steel, detailed surveys have been carried out to assess the condition of the structure. And now, a team of engineers are working to repair the damage caused by over a century of corrosion.
Over time, be it water ingress from the deck or be it corrosion, weather, we've ended up with a hole here that's gone actually through the web, and the material on the web itself has thinned. So to keep this girder up to capacity, we've got to put a web plate on here and strengthen it and tie it all back in together to that stiffener.
The bridge has 1.5 million rivets, and up to 2,000 need to be replaced. But while trains are running, only one rivet can be removed at a time. They'll have to wait till the quiet of the late-night weekend shift to replace the damaged steel.
We've got a wheels-free period coming this Saturday night, so we know there's going to be no trains going over the top of the structure at all. So when we get our wheels-free period, put our prefabricated repair plates on, put the structure back to where it should be.
It's painstaking work, estimated to take 100,000 man-hours all in. Every nook and cranny of this 216-metre-long bridge will be assessed and repaired before finishing the job with 5 coats of paint.
So this is the primer we're using. Use this right through these phases. Get our intermediate coat, stripe coat, and our finish coat, just as the job progresses. 75,000 litres all in. That's a pretty near guesstimate.
Seeing a project from start to completion, and then when you've got a finished product and it's handed back, is something you get actually proud of. So it is.
Glasgow Central has been creating memories for those who pass through it for 140 years. And for nearly all of that time, its adjoining hotel has been wedded to station life.
Mary, do you want some tea?
Yes, please.
Today, Care Home Activities Coordinator Amanda, along with residents Frank and Mary, are visiting the hotel for afternoon tea with a dash of nostalgia.
We've came from White Craig's Care Home today to talk about our memories of Glasgow Central Station. We like to do reminiscence sessions and go down memory lane. So this is Mary. Mary's just turned 90.
You keep saying that.
And this is Frank, and Frank's 89.
That's me, the tall one. I can't remember that boy.
During his national service, Frank used to travel from Central Station down to London to reach his barracks in Aldershot.
No, I was enjoying it.
But his memories of Glasgow Central stretch even further back.
So Frank, there's been a lot of lovely memories about Glasgow Central Station. What are your fondest memories as a wee boy here?
Oh, aye. I only lived along the road.
I heard you used to offer people your services to help carry their bags.
Oh, aye. Aye, for tips.
For tips.
Carry your bag, mister.
Oh, my God.
You know, and if you said yeah, he maybe give you a penny, tuppence. If you got a sixpence, wow, the Queen was near your auntie.
What age were you about when you did that, Frank?
About 10 or something.
About 10?
Yeah, something like that.
Can you imagine 10-year-olds nowadays?
Oh, you're joking.
Mary, do you remember your wedding day?
I remember my wedding day, yes.
You looked beautiful on your wedding day, Mary.
Well, everybody should do.
I think
pampering you get.
You definitely did.
Anyway.
Where did you spend your wedding night?
Oh, in here. In here in the hotel.
Why did you spend your wedding night in Glasgow Central Station?
Oh, it was upmarket, it was special. That's the whole reason. Didn't think about costs. I don't know how much it cost. No idea yet how much it cost. But that was special.
Well, a stunning bride, I think, deserved a grand wedding night.
It was. It was.
Do you want to go and have a look at the chandelier?
This is lovely. Beautiful.
But the hotel was still the kind of, as we walked through it, was still similar then when you were here.
Well, I think it is. I think it is, funnily enough, coming into it. It just seemed familiar. You know, it should do, I suppose, but it did.
So have you enjoyed your trip back to Central Station?
Very much, very much.
A nice wee trip down memory lane, eh?
I mean, she wasn't like this.
Sitting at the heart of the concourse is the public piano. It's been a fixture in the station for over 2 years, welcoming unsung piano heroes from far and wide. Today, Brian has travelled nearly 250 miles in the name of entertainment.
Something like that. Well done. I've come from Nottingham just to visit Glasgow and Edinburgh and play the pianos. I don't play unorthodox way, I just play what comes into my head.
On platform 15, Denise is flying solo with her new buggy licence.
It's the best thing ever. It's just natural now. I've been driving long enough, it should be natural. I'm going to see if I can get through this without hitting it. That'll be interesting. There we go. Jack boy, will I just take one of the buggies down there for my 15:59? I'm going to get up early unless you need it before.
It's your leisure, that's a very good move.
Platform 1, the Virgin train is due in at 15:59. And I'm a wee bit early, but it's better to be early than late.
It's all about the passengers, really, isn't it? It is about the passengers.
Hiya, you all right?
We want to make sure everybody gets moving and gets to where they want to go.
I like your tartan wheelchair.
Wheelchair all the way from Cape Town.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
2, 3.
Oh, it's light as a wee feather.
The train service here is very good for disabled people. There's always been somebody there to help us off the train, you know, so it's wonderful.
So you've had a lovely holiday?
I'm so much more confident in every part of the station.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'll see you again.
Maybe I should be the buggy trainer from now on, now that I'm that good.
Next time on Inside Central Station.
Tickets ready, guys. Come through.
The line blockage out on the bridge. There's nothing in, nothing out at the moment.
Basically, this is probably like the worst case you can actually get. It's the worst thing that could actually happen. People are going to miss the game.
For us, it's a real pleasure to be in Scotland, the best country in the world.
We're off to the Ariana Grande concert. And I will work 500 more just to be the man who walks up.